Welcome to another edition of From the Chairman's Desk. It's good to be back with you today. With us, we have Mr. Ron Oxendine. He's moved back home from Raleigh, North Carolina. So you stayed gone a long time, didn't you, Ron?
Certainly did, almost 25 years.
Yeah, and Ron's came back to help us with our light heat program, our energy program. Your checks we send out, thousands of checks we send out. And Ron has brought a lot of professionalism and expertise to the table. And to quote our former executive director or tribal administrator who retired, Mr. Leon Jacobs, he had a saying, he says, he's taking us to another level. So we appreciate you coming back home. Seems to be a theme we're going around here now. A lot of Lumbees coming back home. But Ron, we always start the program.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay. Who's your people, son?
Well, let's see. I was raised in the Prospect community here on Philadelphia's Road. And at that point in time, worked and on the tobacco farms of North Carolina and sort of realized that at that point in time it would be a good thing to get a good education. So Prospect High School was good to me. Pembroke State University was good to me. Had the opportunity then to go on and do a master's degree at Penn State University. And now I'm working back at the University of North Carolina in the School of Medicine and the U.S. Postal Service and a couple of different state positions in Raleigh area.
Okay. Now, his father's name is Mr. Harlywell Oxendine. And this young man was raised up to go to Cherokee Chapel.
That's correct.
Holiness Methodist Conference. So we had a couple of people on this program who've been from the old Indian Conference. Now, you better state one of your uncle's names before I get in trouble.
Oh, my goodness.
Your famous uncle stays right there from you.
Exactly.
So please call his name out.
All right. My uncle on my mother's side, Mr. James Arthur Jones, our principal at Prospect High School.
A veteran of the Bulge. He fought in the Bulge. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was one of the few Lumbees we had that survived the Battle of the Bulge. That's the reason I always, in fact, we honored Mr. Jones in some of the WW2s at the military ball. So that's the reason we always wanted to give a thank you out to our veterans. So, Ron, tell me what's going on in the Office of Energy.
Well, when I came into the office, in the Energy Office, I came in as an interim manager and working as a consultant. And I sort of see my role now as trying to develop the guidelines and better define our guidelines. In doing that, I think we'll have a better working relationship with our state agencies and then also with the federal government. Because one of the things that we want to do is be sure to secure our funding for the next generation and for the next families who may be in a need of having energy assistance or who have that need right now. So I see my position right now is really defining what our office does, being sure that our office procedures are in place, and then reviewing our application process, trying to better utilize the staff within the office. And right now there are 4 people in the office who are doing intake and outreach offices. They are actually going into the different counties, and we do service 4 counties, so it's very important that we make our presence known, and that when we look at our program, that our program has a positive effect for people. I don't want our program to be utilized just for looking at individuals who say come in and need a check right now, but we want to help them get out of that crisis situation. We want to develop a mode for them to really get beyond their immediate crisis and to then think about planning a little bit, how they're going to pay their light bill the next time.
Right.
So we're trying to do a little bit more in terms of expanding that role.
Okay, let me just ask some questions, just like I was watching this program. What is a crisis? I mean, what do I have to do to qualify? Say I'm behind on my light bill.
Right. Well, there are several things, and it does leave room for some professional judgment. So that's one of the things I think that we're able to work with now. I believe that a crisis really is something that interferes with your ability to make your payment in a timely fashion. And it has to be something that's either heating or cooling related. So in other words, if you do have a car breakdown and you've got to repair your car as opposed to pay your light bill, that would constitute a crisis. And there are some other things in there, and I'd hate to go into them too extenuous because I don't want to plant a seed out there that someone might utilize in a manner that wouldn't be conducive to our regulations.
Right.
But I would like to hear from individuals, as they come in, and let them tell me what their experiences are and what they're going through on a day-to-day as they go through their day-to-day operations, so to
I,
speak.
I'm glad that you, and I'm not being funny anything here, but it's a very truthful statement that when you say if your car breaks down, because my generation, if you notice my generation, we're going to drive an old car.
Right.
I drive a 1984.
Right.
That's all my life. That's all I ever want to drive. Don't give me nothing new. But that thing will
But
have some problems.
exactly.
But a lot of my generation, we drive older cars because that's just what we're more comfortable with. I don't know, but anyway. So you're saying if my motor blows up,
Exactly.
it could be considered a crisis. So, so, so what our members need to do is call in or come in and say, listen, this is what's going on in my life.
Exactly,
Can
Chairman.
you help me?
Chairman, I think that's the best way to describe it because each individual case who comes in the office is going to be different. And I don't want to set a standard for saying, well, here's what has to be a crisis in your situation because everyone knows that all of our lives are different. So what one person's going through, another may not be going through. So I'd like to hear individually from that person who comes in and makes that application for the Energy Assistance Program. It may be a water bill. It may be the plumbing in their house. They had some problems and they had a temporary fix, or it could be that maybe the water heater went out in their house, and they need to have the water heater replaced as opposed to maybe pay their light bill that month. Because in our economic situation today, folks are so limited in terms of extra dollars to do repairs and to do things like that. So I think our program can help bridge that gap a little bit.
Okay, now let me put you on the spot.
Okay.
During my state of the tribe address, I noticed we had went from sending checks out that averaged $70 each year. It had went up to 150.
Exactly.
How can we get it up to 300?
Well, I believe that as long as our economy continues to grow and there's more monies coming into the federal government and then also to be returned, I think this past year alone there was like $50-some million that was returned to all 50 states and then also Puerto Rico and Guam. So as we continue the economy to grow, I think our dollars will actually grow also. But again, at the point in time that we are right now, I don't know that for maybe the 2009 and 2010 year that we're going to be able to grow very much.
Okay.
But I do believe that there is substantial evidence that the program is a viable program and it will be refunded.
Okay. We're just about out of time. I'm going to have to bring you back, but I want to ask one question.
Okay.
About how many American Indians do you service or help each year? How many thousands?
Chairman, we're probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 7,000.
6,000 or 7,000
families.
American Indians. You notice I said American Indians because as long as you're Indian, you can qualify for this program.
Exactly.
Remember that, my friends.
Exactly.
As long as you're American Indian, you can qualify for this program. 6,000 to 7,000 American Indians. Gosh, that's a tremendous.
Before we go, Chairman, I'd like to do one last thing, and that is I'd like to share our telephone number for future reference for individuals. That number is 910-522-2206.
Good. Say that one more time.
522-2206.
06. Easy number to remember. Okay, we'll be right back from the Chairman's desk.